Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So it's the weekend, so it's movie review time. And what do I have for you this week? As you can already tell by the title, it is Napoleon. So it's the Joaquin Phoenix new film where he plays Napoleon Bonaparte. This is directed by I've forgotten his name now. Tony. It's escaped me. It'll come back to me in a minute anyway. So Tony Scott. So one of the Ridley brothers, obviously the other one unfortunately passed away. Was it Ridley Scott and Tony passed away? It's by one of the Ridley brothers anyway. So this movie is supposedly not accurate. I'm not a big fan of history, or never was at school or anything, so I don't know the accuracies and inaccuracies. I have seen there's a lot of complaining that it wasn't accurate and stuff like this. I think it is taking the very loose details of Napoleon Bonaparte's story and depicting them here for you all to see. So basically this starts off a very young Napoleon Bonaparte in France, where I believe the British have taken over, and it starts with basically him winning the battle back from the English, and then it is as he rises through the ranks, it is where you meet his wife in between this, and how a story comes, and then it kind of ends with him dying. And yeah, it's quite simple. That obviously, if you're a history buff and that, there may be inaccuracies, I don't know. Obviously the Scots, they do really, really good movies, and in this one it is, it's epic. It was shot, I think, just over 2 months time, 61 days it took to shot. This is going to be supposedly an Apple exclusive, where a 4-hour version will be released on Apple TV. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes or 45 minutes with credits. That was enough for me. But yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised at the movie overall. I did quite like it. So I'll put the movie spoiler review warning up as per usual, and we shall get into it. So as I said, so the movie starts, it's Napoleon. He's a very younger man. He obviously helps the French get basically their fort back, or part of their port back from the British, which is quite interesting to see the story and how his kind of mind works. Obviously he was a very good tactician, as we know, through war. And then it's him rising the ranks, and obviously him and his wife, and it's very split. It's very much of his kind of all the personal turmoils with his wife and everything, and trying to have a son and all this stuff and everything that he goes through there, because obviously he finds the lady that he loves, wants to spend the rest of his life with. But in this time, which seems to be watch a lot of stuff, they're very unfaithful to each other and stuff like this, and they can't seem to have a child, and they don't know what's going on. There we go. And obviously Napoleon is very much, he needs an heir, because as he rises through the ranks, you want somebody to carry on your legacy for you. Stuff like this, have a lot of battles in it, stuff, and some of it's seen from the trailer. If you've seen it, you've seen some of the battles, the ice one. But it's watching it in real life and how he sets stuff up, and that is very, very good, very, very skillful from Napoleon's side, and even the director of just how he films these massive scenes. There is CG in there and stuff, and to be honest, you don't really notice it. Sometime when there's a little bit foggy near the end, I was a bit like, oh, that's not quite right. But the big lavish settings and the buildings and stuff like this, I mean, how they filmed this in 2 months, I have no idea. But you can tell this is probably a star quality production and stuff like this to make this look all good. Joaquin Phoenix shines, I think, as Napoleon Bonaparte, very, very good. From my knowledge, is supposed to be quite a short man. He is depicted as kind of an average size man. I don't know. I thought Joaquin Phoenix was quite a fairly tall person, so I'm not quite sure if they've had to boost everybody around him to make him look shorter, and stuff. But yeah, I say it's good to watch him as his life unfolds, and there's stuff that you see that just to make it more exciting and stuff like this. But yeah, it's a very good mix of kind of the personal relationship between him and his wife, and then you have a battle, then you have him and his wife and stuff, and then you have a battle and stuff like that, and it mixes it up enough. I think if there was too much battle, but just seeing like the grand scale of everything and what goes into it is quite immense. Very, very impressed. And the lady who plays his wife, and I can't remember, so I'll stick a picture of her up here. She's from, I think, the Mission Impossible films, or has been. She was quite good as well, playing his wife. I say, and there's a few oddball characters that I noticed from like a comedian and stuff like this from UK TV. That I thought, it was well cast, well acted. Just interesting to learn about Napoleon. As I say, afterwards I read up on it, and they're saying that it's not factual in all places. It's fair enough. I mean, if you took probably somebody's life and did it play by play of their life, it probably wouldn't make a very good movie. And as you're making a movie to make money and for people to, well, you're making it for people to see it, but obviously you need to make money to be able to make more movies. Then obviously there is that incentive there, and that's changing stuff like they always do. But yeah, I mean, it was actually surprising to say. I know it's I was really, you know, taken aback of how good I thought this is. So I'm going to rate this movie 7 out of 10. You know, maybe my expectations were a little low, but I thought, as I say, it was very, very good. I don't think I'm going to watch the 4-hour Apple TV version, or if it's going to be in a 4-part, a bit like the Justice League, maybe. Who knows? But it was good enough for me. I really liked it. I learned something about Napoleon. I've read up a bit more about him and learned a few little bits like there's a son and that isn't kind of featured and stuff. But obviously, as I said, you're kind of building a story to entice people in. Having all the little finer details isn't always needed when you're trying to do a movie of that scale. But yeah, you know, brilliantly executed. I can't sing the praises enough. And probably people are thinking, well, why am I rating it a lot more? I said the reason I rate it 7 and where it is, like, I think it's a good movie. I'm happy to watch. I don't think it's one I'm necessarily going to rush back to. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's quite a long movie, and to be honest, it didn't really, there was maybe 1 or 2 little bits where I was a bit like, oh, this is taking a bit of time. But for me, I think part of that was the cinema experience. So when I went to the cinema, unfortunately, it didn't seem like the heat was working. I had like 4 layers on and I was still quite cold. So when the frost battle was happening, it actually draws you in. But yeah, that's me. So anyway, that has been my very short but abrupt review of Napoleon. I say I do like it. Have you seen it? Please do let me know in the comments below. Are you going to see it? You know, is there anything that I missed, maybe, that, you know, I'm always interested in knowing these little details that I may have missed. Otherwise, I'm excited for physical screen time. Hope you enjoyed, as I said, the review of Napoleon. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things you want to do. Stay safe and see you next one.